I worked the night shift alone. Something else did too. Working the night shift alone isn't unusual. Empty buildings, dim lights, the sound of your own footsteps. What is unusual is realizing you're not actually alone. I took the job because no one else would. Night security, an old office building, midnight to 6 a.m. The pay was decent. The building was quiet. Too quiet. During orientation, my supervisor handed me the keys and said, "If you hear footsteps, don't investigate. It's just the building settling." I laughed. I shouldn't have. My first night was calm. Empty floors, motionless elevators, emergency lights humming softly. But something felt wrong. The building didn't feel abandoned. It felt prepared, as if it knew someone would be walking its halls. At 1:17 a.m., I heard them. Slow footsteps, measured, too deliberate to be random noise. They came from the second floor. I checked the CCTV monitor. The hallway was empty, but the sound stopped right in front of the camera. Like whoever or whatever was walking knew exactly where I was watching. I zoomed in. No person, no movement, but the shadow on the floor shifted. Not from light, not from vibration. It moved as if something solid had passed by, just out of frame. I told myself it was stress. Old buildings make noise. That's what people say. At 2 a.m., one of the cameras turned on by itself. Third floor. I hadn't touched the controls. At the end of the hallway, something was standing there. Tall, too still. The camera feed flickered before the image cut out. By the third night, I noticed a pattern. Every 2 hours, the presence moved floors, like a patrol, like a schedule. When I checked the first floor, it appeared on the fourth. When I returned to the security room, a different camera went dark. We never crossed paths, always one step apart.
Inside the security desk, I found an old logbook. Names of previous guards. Most of them quit within weeks. The last page had the same sentence written over and over. Never walk ahead of it. On the 7th night, I broke the rule. I sped up my patrol. I wanted proof. In the stairwell on the 3rd floor, I heard breathing, not mine. On the CCTV monitor in my hand, I saw myself walking calmly down the 2nd floor hallway. I froze. I was in the stairwell. So who was on the camera? The figure on the monitor stopped, slowly turned its head. It was me. Same face, same uniform, but its eyes were empty, and its shadow never touched the ground. That's when I understood. The building wasn't haunted. It was operational, and every night shift there were always 2 guards, one human and one replacement. As long as you stayed behind, you were safe. As long as you didn't rush, as long as you didn't try to catch up, because whoever walked ahead never went home. At 4:58 a.m., I sat perfectly still. The footsteps stopped. On the monitor, the figure stood at the exit, waiting, watching the camera,
Just a dream.
waiting for me to follow. I didn't move. Morning came. My supervisor walked in. He looked at me and said, "You matched the schedule." I asked him quietly, "Whose schedule?" He replied, "The guard before you." I quit the next day, but the building didn't forget me, because once you walk its halls at night, part of you never really leaves. I quit that job, packed my things, turned in my badge. I told myself it was over, but some places don't accept resignations. The first few days felt normal. No hallways, no cameras, no footsteps. But every night at 1:17 a.m., my body woke up on its own, like muscle memory, like something was still expecting me to clock in. I started dreaming about the building. Same uniform, same flashlight, same route. The dreams didn't feel random. They felt scheduled. Every time I woke up, I felt exhausted, like I'd just finished working without getting paid.
One night, my phone vibrated. Unknown number, no profile picture, just a text. Your shift isn't complete. I blocked the number. It texted again. Backup staff must report. The next morning, I checked my email. There it was, a job posting. Same building, same position, same night hours. At the bottom, in smaller text, standby personnel required. I never applied, yet my name was already filled in. I told myself I just needed closure, one last look. The building looked unchanged, same glass doors, same flickering lobby lights. But stepping inside felt different, like the place was relieved, like I was late. In the security logbook, I found my name, written neatly, not added recently, listed permanent night staff. Start date, weeks before I was ever hired. The security room had 2 chairs. I'd always assumed one was broken. This time, the second chair slid back slowly, as if someone had just stood up. On the CCTV monitors, the patrol route was perfect. One figure always walked ahead, one always followed. When I stopped, the front figure stopped. When I hesitated, it turned its head slightly, like it was waiting for permission. The supervisor appeared behind me. I didn't hear him approach. I asked, "How many guards work the night shift here?" He stared at the monitors and said, "Whoever finishes the shift gets to leave." On the 3rd floor camera, I saw him. Me. Calm, efficient, unquestioning. He didn't look afraid. He looked committed. The building doesn't steal lives. It steals availability. If you keep showing up, eventually it creates a version of you that never leaves. At 4:50 a.m., we stood face to face in the hallway. He spoke using my voice. "If you go home, I stay forever." I realized then he wasn't threatening me. He was tired. Instead of moving forward, I stepped back. The lights flickered. The cameras glitched. The schedule alarm went off early. For the first time, the routine was broken.
I made it outside. The doors locked behind me. But I knew the truth. A version of me was still walking those halls. Still on duty. Still waiting for the moment I got tired enough to return. Some jobs don't fire you. They wait. I thought leaving was enough. I thought breaking the routine meant freedom. I was wrong. Because some schedules follow you home. I changed jobs, day shifts only. Different building, different city. No cameras, no patrols. But every night at 1:17 a.m., my body woke up anyway. No alarm, just certainty. At first, it was subtle. A soft click, like a door unlocking. A faint hum, like fluorescent lights warming up. Sounds that didn't belong in my apartment. Sounds I knew too well. One night, I noticed something wrong with my reflection. It lagged, just slightly. When I moved, it followed a second too late. And sometimes, it didn't blink. At exactly 1:17 a.m., my phone rang. No number,
No name. Just an internal extension. When I answered, I heard my own voice. "You're late." I didn't argue. I didn't block the number. I already knew where this was going. The building didn't chase. It waited. And I had been late. For too long. The doors opened. Before I touched them. The lobby lights turned on. One by one. Like the building was waking up. Or like it never slept. In the security room, there was only one chair now. No second seat. No space for hesitation. The monitors flickered to life. Every camera showed empty hallways. Perfectly empty. The logbook lay open. One line already written. Final shift acknowledged. Below it, my signature. Fresh. I walked the building. No footsteps followed me. No shadow stayed ahead. I realized something horrifying. There was no longer a second guard. The other me didn't replace me. It was me. The part that stopped questioning. The part that accepted the routine. The part that learned how to stay. At 1:16 a.m., I heard unfamiliar footsteps. Fast, uneven, a new guard, nervous. I watched him through the CCTV. He kept checking behind him, just like I used to. I stood at the end of the hallway, not on camera, not fully visible, right where the light failed to reach, waiting. I wanted to warn him. I really did. But the building doesn't allow interruptions. Schedules must be respected. If you ever work the night shift and feel like someone is walking ahead of you, slow down. Don't try to catch up. Because the moment you stop questioning, you don't get replaced. You get promoted to something that never clocks out. The building is still hiring, and the night shift is always open.